Hello, our topic today is African kingdoms and empires. African kingdoms and empires. Today we are going to look at the Benin kingdom, the Oyo kingdom, Kanem Bornu, that is the Muslim kingdom, the Asante kingdom of Ghana. Welcome. Let's look at the meaning of Amit. Amit is a traditional story of ostensibly, that is said to be true but not really true, historical events that serves to unfold part of the world view of a people or explain a practice, belief, or a natural phenomenon. So we are going to look at the creation myth of the Yoruba, the thief, the Igbo creation, the Hausa, and the scientific discovery of Lucy. So the creation myth of the Yorubas believes that life started at Ife when Olodumare was given palm wine and some calabashes and sent to Orishanya. Olodumare is their god, to come and create the earth. But Orishanya drank a lot of palm wine and then fell asleep. Then another god, Oduduwa, took it from him and came to create the earth. So Oduduwa is the first man on earth according to the Yoruba creation myth. The thief creation myth, the thief are people of the Benue. They believed that Ando, the god of the sky, created the first man, Takuku and Nyamazenga. So they still believe that they descended from Ipusu and Ichonga. So Oando, the god of the sky, is believed to be the god that created the thief people. Then the Igbo myths of creation, the Igbo creation myth, the Igbo believe that Chukwu gave the spirits. So Chukwu is the god that gave the spirit, okay? So Chukwu, according to the Inri belief, is the spirit that created the earth. Then we have the Hausa creation myth. The Hausa, they claim to be descendants of Bayajida, who was able to kill a snake, okay, that was disturbing the people of Daurana in Katsina State. So Bayajida killed the snake, and as a reward, the queen Daruma of Daura married him, and they had sons, okay, and those sons, they were 6 sons. They became Biram, Dara, Gaba, Kana, Kasina, Rawa, and Zaria. Then we have the Lucy creation myth. This one, the scientists have also tried to discover how and where human beings originated. So in Ethiopia, scientists discovered a skeleton, okay, team of archaeology, they discovered skeleton in Ethiopia, and they named that skeleton Lucy, okay. So the discovery of human fossils in Africa led scientists to believe that human beings originated on the continent millions of years ago. So that's the creation myth. The history of Africa dates back thousands and thousands of years, so far that scientists believe that early humans originated from East Africa, and this Africa had lots of kingdoms. We're going to take these kingdoms one after the other. We'll explain their culture and history. First, we'll look at the Benin kingdom, the Oyo kingdom, Kanem Bornu, the Asante Kingdom of Ghana. So you follow me as we take a look on these topics. The Benin Kingdom, also known as the Edo Empire, has its story legend which was transferred orally to its people. Edo State was formerly known as IGODOMIGODO, and its rulers are known as Ogisios, which are gods of the sky. Prince EKALADERHAN, the son of the last Ogisio, had a dispute with his uncle. He was then banished and he fled for his life. He later changed his name to IZODUWA, which meant I have chosen the path of prosperity, and traveled to the land of the Yorubas. He became known as Oduduwa, the ruler of Ife. Yes, the name was corrupted from Ozuduwa to Oduduwa. Oramiya, the grandson of Oduduwa, came back to the land of Edo people and married a beautiful woman called Erinwinde. She was the daughter of the 9th Enogie. Enogie is known as a duke, and they had a baby. So they had a baby together. Oromia and Erinwinde, they had a baby together. But Oduduwa was not happy where he was. He declared the land Ilebinu. That means it's a land of vexation. He said it's only someone that is born with the mysteries of this land can rule it. He decided to go back to Ife, leaving his son as the king. His son's name is Eweka, and there's a lot of things as regards how the son got the name. When the child was born, he couldn't speak, but when the child finally spoke, he said Ewameka, which means my hands have got it. But the Benin people corrupted it to Eweka. King Eweka became the first Oba of Benin. He was the first that changed the name of from IGODOMIGODO to Edo. And because his descendant was traced back to the Ogiso, he was considered as a direct descendant of God. He had divine rights to rule, and all the kings after him had divine rights to rule. Now, the Edo had an administrative structure. The kingdom was divided into king, then the king had other administrative chiefs. The fief holders are responsible for the daily administration of their various communities. Then the king had 7 royal nobles. The hereditary ones are the Uzamas and the non-hereditary ones too. The kingdom had great walls and impressive gates, taking years to build. And the great work of Edo spread to other lands. It also has a powerful and well-disciplined military. The king was the supreme military commander, but he has generals serving under him. It was broken into units and subunits, and even the queen mother had regiments of soldiers. It has very clever leaders and very business-oriented. It got money from 3 main sources: taxes from the waterways, tolls from those who want to enter the city to trade, and tributes from slaves that were conquered. After hearing about the grandeur and splendor, many people wanted to enter the city to trade. Craftsmen, artisans, carpenters, bronze makers, clothes makers, they all flocked into the city. The empire developed an artistic culture: bronze carving, ivory, and bronze sculpture that we see today, and also explains why the city is so beautiful and well designed. Great Benin king. Benin had great rulers who guided the nation into wealth and prosperity. Eware the Great reigned between 1440 and 1473. He is the most famous of the Benin Obas. He was a brilliant ruler, and it remained for his strong leadership and military skill. His captives were forced to pay tribute to the Oba. Some of the captured people include the Ekiti, Ikare, and the Igbo people. The empire grew to be known to become Ile Ibenu, which was the name Oromia had already given it. Oba Eware the Great introduced the Igwe festival, and he created a political structure that increased the king's authority and set to conquer more lands. Their disciplined military helped them to conquer many more lands. Soon the empire had a lot of conquered territories, which includes the Itshekiri, the Isan, Eka, and Ijaw, the Urobos, and of course the Edo people themselves. The Benin city gained dominance in Nigeria, in Midwest, with its borders with Oyo to the west and Niger to the east. The empire was corrupted from Ile Ibinu to Ubinu, and now to Benin City by the Portuguese in the 1450s. So let's talk about the Europeans now. As you know, the Benin City on the coast, so it's likely that they will be the first to receive the foreign explorers. These foreign explorers have been lured to Benin by the tales of its splendor. The people of the kingdom love to do business and trade, and so before you know it, the people started trading palm oil for gun, even pepper for Manilas. Their multiple wars that they had with other people have helped them to capture POWs, prisoners of wars, which became slaves. They sold these slaves to the foreigners in exchange for other items, even if they sold these snails in small numbers. And so that's it for the Benin Kingdom. Okay, in our next topic, we're going to treat the Benin Kingdom on how it traded on the transatlantic and trans-Saharan trade. You join me. So let's look at the Oyo Empire. Okay, the Oyo Kingdom of southwestern Nigeria rose to power during the 14th century. Legend has it that Yoruba and Benin people are kinsmen. Okay, so the Oyo Empire developed by an African ethnic group called the Yoruba, which populated the region. Then the Yoruba also created. The ruler of the Oyo Empire was called the Alafin. Okay, now the empire extended between Dahomey or the Republic of Benin and even the Niger River. Okay, so the Oyo Kingdom rose to prominence during the 17th century. Oyo's major exports, however, was slaves. It was a slave state, so the king used slave labor on his farmland. Then in 1796, Afonja of Ilori, one of his military commanders, they overthrew them. Then Oyo began to decline due to a combination of different factors. The Oyo military also began to suffer several defeats from the Egba, Nupe, and Bogo people. Okay, in the 19th century, civil war broke out within the empire as Yoruba city-states waged war against each other. So these wars furiously brought their economic life down. Okay, and it eventually collapsed the Oyo Kingdom. So let's look at Kanem Bornu Empire. Okay, the Kanem Kingdom grew wealthy from trade with North Africa and Nile Valley. Okay, along with the trade came Islam, to which the rulers of Kanem are called May. Okay, so the first May to become a Muslim was May Jilmil. Mays are known as the king. The Saifawas were the ruling dynasty of Kanem. They extended their wealth by conquering neighboring countries and marrying into other ruling families. Okay, so May Idris Aloma is one of the most famous rulers of the Bornu Empire. So under his rule, Bornu expanded as far as the Hausa lands in northwestern Nigeria. May Idris was a devout Muslim who introduced Islamic law, which is Sharia, into the empire. Kanem started as an empire on themselves, but because of infighting, they overcame this adversity and they grew largely more than they usually were. Kanem Bornu is an empire that was influenced by Islam and is successful and powerful, and it kept its people through difficult times such as drought, invasion, and wars. So that's the Kanem Bornu Empire. Next, we are looking at the ancient Asante Kingdom. So this is the Ashanti Empire of Ghana. So Asante Kingdom is in Ghana, and they have an Akan chief known as Osei Tutu, who united the Akan states under a new kingdom, which is now known as the Asante. So Asante's capital was at Kumasi. This new kingdom began to expand and grew through trade with other nations. Asante legends tells of the Asante independence from Dekye, another powerful Akan state. At a meeting of all the Asante clan chiefs, the golden stool was commanded down from heavens by Okomfo Anokie, the priest. So it was believed that the person whose lap the golden stool landed on would be the first Asante Hene. So the golden stool floated down straight into the lap of Osei Tutu I. Can you see the image of the golden stool? So Osei Tutu the first is the first king of the Asante Empire. Okay, so you can see the image of the golden stool which fell on its lap. Asante Kingdom grew very rich in gold. The Akan people of the Asante, they used the gold to buy slaves who were then used to increase their gold production. So the first Asatenehe, Osei Tutu, was succeeded by Opokoware, who increased Asante's gold trade. All trade was controlled by the Asante Hene through a state agency. Okay, now the empire began to decline when the British traders and colonial officers wanted to end Asante's control of coastal towns and trade. So these golds that you're seeing were used to make jewelries, ornaments that the people traded on and gain more income. So the British force destroyed Kumasi, and which is now known as the Gold Coast. and it's now the present day Ghana. Thank you for watching this video. Be good.